Around 11 years ago, my routine as a telecoms engineer involved visiting residential houses for phone line installations and repairs. One day, I received an unusual assignment, a 20-line installation in a building that typically wasn't part of my regular tasks. I didn't mind the change, as spending more time in one place seemed appealing. After contacting the central office, I learned the building's caretaker or manager would guide me through the job's specifics. Upon arrival, I discovered it was an old 1920s building, once a nursing home, now repurposed for various offices. Two managers briefed me about the cables likely stored in the cellar. Unfortunately, the caretaker was unavailable due to illness. Led by a man and a woman, we unlocked a padlocked door and descended into the poorly lit cellar. Realizing the lighting wouldn't suffice, I fetched additional lights from my van. As I set up, the receptionist expressed her discomfort about going into the cellar alone. But it didn't bother me much, as I was accustomed to such environments. With the help of a male manager, we located the outdated connection point I needed for the 20 lines. However, it was unsuitable for broadband, so I needed more time to address this issue. Fortunately, the office fitters had left cables and information in a nearby cupboard. Testing the lines progressed well, with most heading to the cabinet. A few remained unresolved, but I knew the area and planned to tackle them the next day using existing cables. By 4 p.m., lacking necessary blocks in my van, I tagged the remaining cables, turned off the lights, and locked up, informing the receptionist I'd return the next day. On my way home, I notified my manager that I might need additional assistance for half a day or more. Uncertainty lingered the morning after, but a call from a fellow engineer at 8 a.m. changed the course of the day. We divided tasks. I handled pushing pairs from the cabinet box, while my colleague managed the cabinet exchange. The job was straightforward: fit the box, run a large internal cable behind the receptionist area. Upon entering the building with the access code, I found all the lights on, despite being certain I'd turned them off. Assuming a manager had overlooked it, I proceeded with my tasks. Pushing cables outside, things progressed smoothly until I encountered a man in grey overalls, Gordon, claiming to be the caretaker. His presence surprised me, as the receptionist had mentioned the building was empty for years. Despite this, Gordon seemed familiar with the site's history, talking about his 30-year tenure. During work, a mysterious hello echoed from the stairwell, but Gordon vanished when I looked around. Later, a manager clarified a potential misunderstanding about expecting another engineer due to poor phone signal. As work continued, Gordon intermittently appeared, engaging in conversation, and vanished without a trace. After finishing the tasks with my colleague, I needed signatures to confirm completion and retrieve my extension cord. It turned out Gordon had interacted with the lights, claiming not to have realized they were mine, which puzzled me because the door had been locked. A week later, a return visit to fix a line issue led to a revelation. The caretaker confessed that the previous caretaker was a man named Gordon, who had passed away years ago while on duty. The revelation shook me, as my encounters aligned with the description of the deceased caretaker. Though I initially dismissed it as a prank, the caretaker's sincerity and subsequent eerie encounter made me reconsider. There are things beyond our understanding, experiences that defy explanation. Like encountering the spirit of a deceased caretaker, Gordon, in that building.